The Spirit in the Body by Robert Crosbie. Letter 19. What is the perceiver, is asked. I do not see how any definition can be made. What is sight? Sight cannot see itself, yet it sees all things. It cannot be defined or described, yet without it nothing can be seen. It is not changed though it receive millions of impressions, nor can a limit be assigned to its action. Apply this to consciousness, or the perceiver, and there is apparent the changeless, inexhaustible, unprovable spirit. Reality is, and cannot be proved by changing unrealities. Space is not proved by the number of things in it, insofar as its infinitude is concerned, yet a realizatio of the impossibility of a beginning or ending to space can exist. I think you have the idea right when you say that the trouble exists in the thinking principles on each plane not being in accord. We eternally endeavor to see the perceiver as something different, something separate from ourselves, whereas, thou art that. Our methods of analysis are illustrated in the old query, which was first, the hen or the egg? With no solution. Is it not looking for something separate, different from what we conceive to be ourselves? Immortality is on both sides of death, or change. He is wise indeed who sees the self in all things and all things in the self. The time must come for a being when he may know all things, but he would also know that he is not all nor any of these things. So far as I can grasp words to convey an idea, he would know himself to be all self, limitless, and therefore beyond anything that we would call knowing. All manifestation is the result of the action of consciousness. Would not the first film of substance be the homogeneous product of a previous manifestation? The time must come for a being when he knows the nature and possibilities of this homogeneous substance, but he, as a conscious power, stands above and beyond all perceptions and conceptions, infinite, all-pervading, creator, preserver, destroyer. The power of seeing is not visible, it is the cause of visibility. But what is the use of troubling about all this? There are many steps in the stairway of wisdom to be climbed, and one step leads to another. We cannot climb the stairs by looking up at the top. I think your expression of finding the unity in a pair of opposites to be in itself one of a higher pair, is a good one. This might represent the rungs in Jacob's ladder. It is all right and well to state your difficulties to me. If mind has power, and the will to give all possible help is there, action must follow. Your faith in this must act as an open door. Have confidence and faith in Master, applies to everything in life and all living. Our doubts are the deterrents. We have to beware that we ask not amiss, from wrong motive. I have no doubt that adjustments are brought about where there is honest striving, and even apparent mistakes are made to serve a good purpose in such case. The masters are not absentee landlords. They are present in the world, and we should hold to this fact always in our personal and collective efforts. We have to do as they do, i.e., take conditions as they exist and work in them and through them. If all do their best, masters can adjust and bring all the lines together for the best and highest good. In the effort of each, all cannot be in the same place, nor doing the same thing in the same way, but if the aim is one for all benefit, and the world as well. I am going to keep your notes in regard to the inability of the student to relate admonitions to himself. I think despair and despondency come from not following what we know, and did not apply. If we make effort to apply what we know, with an end in view, failure to achieve does not disconcert us, because we still have the active knowledge and the end is still in view. It just means a continuation of effort. It is only in the present that we can gain wisdom. There is so much pettiness in the attitude toward small things, an attitude which accentuates the personality instead of subjugating it. The fight must begin there, for all these small irritations are based upon self-assertion. I have seen these small matters neglected as unimportant, and then the time came when this very habit of self-assertion showed itself as an assertion against the teachers themselves. They were nothing but persons, liable to etc. Ingratitude and disloyalty follow, as a matter of course, and even loss of all benefit from the teachings. It is as you say, the arduous postpone the engagement, awaiting some big thing to overcome, but they have not the stamina, should they be so confronted. They fall or flee, blaming everyone but themselves, self-assertion to the last, and another failure is recorded where success might have been. As to the brother and sister of the order of regeneration, all down the ages men have been needy of a rig to correct existing conditions, by simply rearranging them. A rearrangement of errors does not make for knowledge. The errors arise because of ignorance. Knowledge must be sought as to the causes that produce existing conditions. This, Theosophy teaches by showing what man is, his origin, nature, history, and development so far, as well as his grand destiny. Without this knowledge, all attempts to obtain true and better conditions but plunge mankind deeper in the mire of ignorance and error. Works without knowledge can but lead to more and more ignorant works, piling up all the time a worse and worse future, as history has shown and is showing. Restraint from any kind of food, habit or practice, leads nowhere. The wise man does not try to regenerate the world by any one course, but having obtained knowledge, lives according to it as best he can under any conditions, using his energy and knowledge in the world and for the world, by presenting what he sees to be truth. It is well to have these things come out and to formulate right ideas and applications in our minds, for they do not remain inert if we feel them, we endow them with our life and energy, and they are our messengers carrying seeds of thought for other minds. There is an occult meaning to everything, and all things work together for good to those who love the Lord, law. That we should have been brought into direct communication with error, while naming it truth, has its meaning. It must be a step in the great cause. We should be glad to be able, to correct erroneous views and applications. In that is our strength. Our personal weaknesses and troubles are but bubbles on the stream of time, which our strength will safely carry us through and over. This thought, which comes from inner knowledge, should make us stronger, better able, surer of victory. It may appear to some that these are criticisms of the methods of others. They are not so intended. They are intended to show there is a definite philosophy of theosophy, that it is scientifically based, that the mission of distinctively theosophical societies, viz., to study, apply and promulgate theosophy, is not filled by the holding of such misconceptions, and finally to prove that such misconceptions are not based upon the philosophy of theosophy, whatever else may be their foundation.